Hey, Sagittarius, intuitive soul coach here with your November 2023 bonus reading. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. These are general readings. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Sag, welcome. You have here an opportunity to release a block, a restriction, or something that has held you back and move towards a new beginning. Okay, you have your final outcome, flow, Gemini energy. So Sag, this is about you going with the flow instead of feeling such resistance. There may have been a situation that was holding you back. It could have been your own limiting beliefs, your own thoughts, second guessing your intuition, second guessing the choices that are in your highest good. Now you have this clear mind, Sag. Now you have this energy about you. Double Gemini here and Libra. So a lot of air going on, a lot of mental energy where you're thinking more rationally, which is interesting because you do have the Scorpio, which we are in Scorpio season, Sag. So releasing your blocks by not letting your emotions make the decisions for you is what I'm hearing. So if there were some decisions or restraints, maybe again, you felt very cluttered mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, this is about you moving towards clearing up that energy, clearing up that clutter. I'm getting here cleaning house. So some of you could physically be cleaning a house. Maybe you're going through some belongings. You may be going through someone's estate as well. You could be clearing out some paperwork, throwing a bunch away. They're actually showing me here a paper shredder. So someone could be shredding paperwork, or that could be symbolic for shredding or ending contracts, whether it's soul contracts, business contracts, whatever that may be for you. It's going to clear up some space, Sagittarius, because there's just been an emphasis on overcomplicating matters. Okay, maybe it's felt very difficult and very complicated in a relationship or within your financial beliefs or whatever it may have been, but your overall energy here as well is clearing out the mind, Gemini, clearing the mental clutter, finding ways to reduce stress and anxiety, freeing yourself from whatever has been challenging you, finding solutions. I'm also hearing some of you could be taking an exam. You could be preparing to maybe put a house on the market. Maybe you're looking at finances, taxes, things of that nature. And you have some rapport. There is relief happening here for you in the month of November, whether that comes in the help of financial, professional, medical, whatever it may mean for you. It's going to allow you to spend some of that energy and that focus that you have on things that bring you stability, abundance, and peace. Okay, because I see that here for you, but it's been a little bit tumultuous in the headspace or in the emotional center as well, because scorpionic energy here can go deep. It's a water element. It's emotional. So whatever it is, Sagittarius, that's been on your heart, been on your mind, maybe the two have been conflicted. Maybe your heart's been pulling you in this direction for quite some time, but the head's been over here telling you it's not time, you have to wait, and there's a little bit of a tug of war going on here. Know that you're loved. That's an important message from your spiritual team, from those here in the physical, those that have crossed over. Know that you are loved with this Libran energy showing up here for you. We have Venus going direct in the sign of Libra at this time. So you're going to see evidence that you are truly lovable and that you are loved and people support you and want the best for you. And those people that don't, those people that want to sabotage your success, or they're not supportive, or they're manipulative, or they're abusive physically, mentally, emotionally, they don't have a place for you. You don't have a place for them in your life any longer, is what I'm sensing here. You may be cutting off, that energy because it's just draining. Now, your final outcome is embracing the flow. All right, embracing, going with the flow. Have y'all ever tried to paddle upstream with one paddle, right? Upwards? It's difficult to do. And sometimes you just want to catch a break is what I'm getting. And it can feel overwhelming at times, Sagittarius. But the reason why you're releasing this and letting this, go to clear up is because we're heading into your season at the end of the month here. And as we navigate closer to the 23rd, you want to be prepared to integrate the new changes that the birth cycle represents. We reflect, we evaluate what's working, what's not. What do I want to achieve in the next timeline, the next trip around the sun? So you're really getting into the flow here of 2024, the next trip around the sun here, new vibrations, new energy. So let's take a deeper look into the energy here. Why is the mind so cluttered? What's going on in that headspace? What do we need to clear out and how? What do we have here, please, for Sagittarius? Okay, thank you. What's going on for Sagittarius? A little bit of nostalgia, a little bit of taking a look at past memories, taking a look at maybe the life that you've built, taking a look at how far you've come. This could be, maybe some of you have had some childhood wounding or a difficult childhood that is still creeping into your adult life, whether it shows up in the form of limiting beliefs, lack of self-worth or confidence, whether this is things that took place in your childhood. Maybe this is children within your own life, your own children or your own parents. This is about not romanticizing the past, but being logical about what had happened, right? Because sometimes if this is a relationship for some of you, if this was a relationship that you are in and you're longing for, communication or longing for a person, or you're wondering, should I stay? Should I go? I'm in a stagnant position here. Sometimes we look back and all the good, but we forget the reason why we're riding the fence. We forget sometimes that, amidst the good and the bad, there could be a whole lot of ugly that we are masking up, and we know we deserve better, but it's hard to push forward. For some of you that are in a relationship that's stagnant and you feel a little bit left out in the cold, you feel like someone is being cold to you. Maybe you've cut off communication with a person, but you're still working on healing. But it is time for you to clear the energy here. It's time for you to release, to get you out of some sort of stagnancy. Now, Sagittarius, if this is a work situation, you may be thinking back when, things were a little bit easier. And I do this sometimes even myself, being a 90s kid, well, growing up in the 80s and 90s. We go back and we think, wow, things were so much simpler, or they were easier, or man, that music was good. Or, we tend to kind of veer back go down memory lane. And I feel like some of you may be doing that, but it's also important for you not to stay stuck in that stagnancy and, longing and nostalgia, because it's important to move forward as well. It's important to embrace what you have right here, right now. And some of you, you've been left out in the cold for so long, or there's been a challenge, a health issue, a relationship that's been off and on, or even a financial situation where you just felt like you were sidelined. You didn't feel like you were going anywhere. You may have hit some sort of a glass ceiling in a situation, and you're thinking a lot about it. What went wrong? How can I grow? How can I shift my energy? What new beliefs do I need to incorporate? Because what's been happening here is you've been emotionally maturing, emotionally evolving. And maybe someone around you hasn't quite been in touch with their emotions. Even though they have the ability to do so, the past, they may be caught up on the past. Okay, so that's what you're clearing your mind from, and it's a whole hell of a lot, right? It's not an easy thing to do overnight, Sagittarius, but you have what it takes to move forward. Let's take a look at We can release some of these blocks for you and what truly is the hang up, because we have the Hanged Man. So there is a hang up here. And I feel like the hang up is the mind, is the mental clutter, is the repetitive old story that we tell ourselves of why we're not good enough, or we'll be single, or, you know, that person really does love us. They didn't really mean to abuse us, right? It's some sort of negative cycle that we spin ourselves in. Let's take a look at what this block is and how to release it. What is the block? How to release it? All right, you just have one coming out here because this is a big one. Oh, shit. That's a big one, right? That is a big one. When you have the devil, when the devil has the grip on you, it is one of the most difficult things to break free from. Because the devil is obsessions, it's addictions, it's codependency, it's materialism, it's manipulation, and it is fear. But what we don't realize with the devil is conditional. The devil is false evidence appearing real. It is not real. It's an image that is put upon us by the conditions or surroundings that we have been introduced to. There is something that needs to be shifted, broken away from. How do we do this? Professional help, shadow work, by focusing on here conditional versus unconditional, right? We know by common sense what conditional love is. Conditional love isn't someone saying to you, I'll do this or be this type of way if you are this. It flows, right? It's supposed to flow. There's not restriction to love. Okay, and I do feel for others of you, if this is a work situation, there's a lot of fears, a lot of limiting beliefs around, around money, around not having enough. We attach ourselves to things, to people, to places, to energies. We attach. There needs to be a cord cutting here. There needs to be some sort of working through these addictions or this behavior or this way of thinking. And I feel for some of you, let's take a look, even though they only wanted the one, because it's a big one, but I want to know how or who can help you work with the devil. Okay, and I just heard here the devil is in the details as well. So for those of you that are signing any contracts, because I was getting the paper shredder, if you're signing any contracts, make sure that you are reading the fine print, because there could be someone who is taking advantage of your lack of knowledge in an area. So for example, let's say, and I'm not at all saying that all of these people are taking advantage, but for example, you go buy a car, there could be a car dealership, or maybe you need to go get a car looked at because you hear some noises, and maybe you are not as knowledgeable when it comes to cars, hence why you're taking it to a professional. But someone says, oh, they'll never know the difference. We're just going to tack this and this and this on. So just get a second opinion here, get double help, ask for someone who has a little more experience, someone you can trust. Okay, and now this is part of you moving forward. And you do have the Page of Pentacles. You have the Emperor. There could be some father issues, father dynamics, possibly even death around a father, or a death of a relationship around someone who was an emperor to you. Maybe a husband, a spouse, a boss, a father figure. Page of Pentacles is an opportunity that passed you by, or maybe it was a bad investment. Maybe you've invested a lot of your time into this devil, which was just, it felt like a waste of time, but it was a growth and a learning opportunity. Okay, it was a growth and a learning opportunity, Sag. This is a really deep reading for you, and I'm glad that it's coming out now to help prepare you to release this stuff the best you can, so you can open yourself up to new opportunities come your season. Because there's celebration here and there's a balancing act. If you're wondering if you can do something, if you can multitask, if you have what it takes to do, both of these things, the answer is yes. But I definitely feel with this devil, the devil got in the way of some sort of Page of Pentacle new opportunity. There could have even been a message that was really harsh. There could have been a denial. Some of you may not have wanted to let go of this devil, whatever it may have been. But the death is about growth, right? And in the past, you were resisting change. You were hanging on. I see that with the Hanged Man. Literally, you were hanging on, hoping that something would change. And that was part of the block, was the hope that something was going to change here. But we can hope and hope and hope all we want. We don't want to ever lose that hope, but we also need to put the work in. We need to be accountable. We need to take responsibility. We need to take the next action step. And I see that's what you are starting to do here, because there is, again, a situation where you're going to realize, I am lovable. I have what it takes. I know my worth. I am, in a place of having to, take the higher road in a sense. And this Emperor, this could be someone that's here to help as well. Aries energy, someone that's very paternal, very powerful, very stable, but always learn to question. Okay, learn to question was the message. Don't resist. Don't hang on because something may feel like you need to hang on. Okay, and I'm going to say that again. Don't hang on to a situation because it feels like you have to hang on. Now that kind of goes against a lot of, I'm very into trusting our intuition, but sometimes feelings get jumbled. Sometimes we don't quite make clear decisions when we are under a lot of pressure or under a lot of stress, turmoil, pain, agony. We can make decisions that we look back on and say, whoa, I was not in my right. Well, we hear right mind, but the mind is the heart mind here. When we are feeling emotionally overwhelmed, we're not able to fully focus on, the task at hand. So don't let those emotions hold you back here from making some powerful decisions. Step up into your power is what I'm hearing. Step up into your power. Now let's see what's shifting here for you, Sag. Embrace the flow of life. Okay, they're giving me the name here is, oh, okay. That's not a name of a person. I think that's a name of a prescription medication, isn't it? Or maybe Xanax is what I'm hearing. Xanax. At first I thought it was, maybe someone could have a name that starts with a Z or an X, but I am getting Xanax. So I believe that's a prescription medication for either depression or anxiety. But for some of you, that may resonate. Please take it as it does. Some of you are also wanting, please seek professional guidance. This is not replacing any medical anything here, but someone may be wanting to get off some sort of medication or maybe get on, right? Or maybe you're second guessing yourself. There's just something here with emotional turmoil and then that medication coming in. All right, let's take a look and clarify here the embrace the flow of life. Final outcome, Gemini. Embrace the flow. How Sagittarius. How can we embrace more flow? Some of you may be riding that. Wow, a lot of cards wanting to come out here for you for your ending. Some of you may have that Scorpio energy in your chart, okay? But I think it's Scorpio because we're in Scorpio season and that's part of what you're releasing. So there's a big incentive here to focus on, releasing the devil before or during this, not before, but during this Scorpio season here. Yeah, because it's a heavy burden. You're ready to release. 10 of Wands in reverse. Bring in others to lighten the load. You're getting physically exhausted here. Some of you Sagittarians are Mr. or Mrs. Fix-Its. You are healers. You may have even been a healer at a young age because that childhood wounding could be that you've had to take care of a parent. You've had to take care of your siblings. You had to take care of people who should have been taking care of you, or you were put in that role at a far too young of an age. Okay, I know all about that here. And so Sagittarius, that may be part of what you're releasing here, is that need to feel like you have to fix, support, help, and be there for every single person, where you spread yourself so thin where it leaves you mentally, physically, emotionally drained. That's what you're releasing. The Judgment combined with the Seven of Cups and the Hierophant. Holy bam. This is a deep reading. When the Judgment card shows up, this is an awakening. This is all about you releasing judgments upon yourself and upon your past. This is karmic for some of you. Okay, this is about you releasing the karmic cycle. Some of you, this is generational karma. And what is karma? Karma is the law of cause and effect. Karma isn't because you're cursed or because somebody is putting a hex on you or any of that mumbo jumbo. Karma is the law of cause and effect. It's based on the choices that we put out into the universe. There is a repercussion. I mean, it is a law of cause and effect. That's what karma is. Sometimes we hear karma, it gets such a bad rap. We really kind of shrink down to that energy, but we need to start reprogramming how we think of karma, because it's not a bad thing. It's neither good or bad. It's basically a consequence on something, again, we've put out. And so right now you may feel like you are in judgment day, right? Like you want to heal the wounds of the past. You have a new calling. You want to change your life for the better. You want the second chance, and you are being gifted the second chance by your own soul self, because your soul wants you to be all that you can be in this life. After all, you are your higher self, right? You chose this path. There's a new beginning here, but in order to do that, you have to go against the grain in a sense. And that sounds counterintuitive for going with the flow. But in order for you to go with the flow and get back on track, you need to push against something that feels, again, there's the word feels good, because what feels good is based in our comfort zone, Sagittarius. And sometimes what feels good isn't the best for us. It may feel really good when you're eating that, triple, double chocolate chip cookie over and over and over, but eventually it doesn't feel good, right? It sits in our stomach. It may feel good when we're having that second bottle of Merlot, right? But it doesn't feel good when we, the next day, or the things we do when we are under the influence. It may feel good at times to be in that relationship because there's a sense of security, but we tend to bypass the abuse, right? So again, take a look at what you are committing your time, your energy, and yourself to. Because the Hierophant is saying here that you have that divine guidance, but you may need to break free from some sort of institution, some sort of learning that you have incorporated from society, family, institutions, right? Anything that you've been taught, it could have been corrupt. It could have been based in some sort of a corrupt manner, right? Maybe you were taught love is fighting, love is back and forth. Maybe you were taught that success, you had to have physical things. Whatever it is that you were taught, you're doing a deep eval and you're looking and saying, is that my truth or is that someone else's truth? Release, let go of that. You have new options out there. Some of you feel like you don't have any other options, but you do. Once you release whatever it is that you're hanging on to, whatever this block is, whatever this devil energy is that's hanging you up, there's a lot more abundance coming in for you that aligns with what your soul came here to do, right? Let's take a look and get a final message. At this time, Sagittarius, I just ask if you can take a nice deep breath in from your solar plexus chakra, the belly area. And I'm going to pull a card here from the Horse's Heart Oracle. This was actually used over the weekend collective reading. Such beautiful messages here. And I want you to just focus on the illustration, focus on the energy of this card, of this horse, of this beautiful, majestical creature. And I want you to tune into your intuition. What is the first thought, phrase, feeling, energy, intuitive insight, nudge? What shows up for you when you look at this creature? If you need to pause the video for a moment, go ahead. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free reading giveaway, all you need to do is drop your intuitive impression into the comment box below. And your message here is all about retreat. I'm actually going to have to turn it sideways here to read. Perhaps at this juncture, you feel as if your best plan is to retreat or withdraw from a circumstance, relationship, or situation. Ironically, to pull back and leave may be the best way to move forward into the future and the path involved. But not all situations require you to be present while the changes occur. Seek whatever is the best outcome for yourself and others and release the situation for healing. If space is what is needed at the present, seek to create that space in a manner that is respectful of others involved. Seek to retreat only to heal yourself, not to harm or hurt anyone else in the process. Withdrawing and seeking solitude may allow you to flow back with more presence. There's that flow. There's your final outcome. And peace of mind at a later time. Retreat softly and release. Yeah, retreat softly and release. And that could be difficult, especially if you are dealing with this. So maybe it's not a quick, I mean, some of you, this does have to do with maybe rehab, staying in a different location. Okay, it could be retreating, taking a little bit of time for yourself to get clear on what you truly want. And it's not to hurt someone. So that may be why communication comes in. Communication is needed because it's for you. It's for you, but you're doing it in the highest good of all. But most importantly here, you're doing what you need to do for your soul's growth. And you're hoping that, you don't have to hurt others in the process, even though you've been hurt in the process. Sagittarius, this is a deep one. I hope it resonates. But know that you are making decisions here that are based in your soul's truth, that are based in your purpose, in your intention of what you wanted to grow and evolve into here in this lifetime on earth. That is what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope it resonates. If so, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It certainly helps get the divine channel messages out there to those that need it most. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Someone may have been brought up in a very religious background. They're showing me like Catholic, possibly, rosary beads. They're showing me the cross. Someone may have been led to believe certain things within a church or within an institution. Again, it's not going to resonate with everyone, but that may be a little part of the conflict happening. Maybe you feel like you have to stay in this situation because that's what you believed at a very young age. That may be part of what you are working through and releasing here in this lifetime. Thank you again so much, Sagittarius. Lots of love.